I started a little too early. Good evening. Today is June the 28th, 2012. You're listening live to Real Talk with Aries, featuring Yonda. Yonda, would you like to say hello to our listening audience this evening?
I just want to say hey, and I'm so ready to get into this guest. This guest that we have coming on right now. It's just, world renowned. He's been talked to Oprah. He's been with Michael Bates and Donnie Simpson. You name it, he's been on it. And he's a personal friend of mine. I just want to introduce you to a numerologist extraordinaire, Lloyd Strayhorn.
Yes, Lloyd, thank you for joining us. Welcome, Lloyd.
Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it very much. This is going to be fun, I'm sure.
Would you like to tell our audience a little bit about yourself for those that are blind to the fact and don't know that we want to catch them up with the rest of us? So can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for those that don't know, I am considered an astro-numerologist. The first part, astro, comes from the fact that my background, my foundation, has been in astrology that deals with your zodiac signs, the planets that govern your signs, what signs your house is in your horoscope. This is why it's scientific, because whenever you go to get a chart done, the astrologer, whether male or female, whether in this country or across the world, they need 5 points of information to do a chart accurately. They need the month you were born, they need the day you were born, they need the year you were born, but more importantly, they need the time you were born, because in that moment, it determines where the sign was rising on the eastern side of the chart. That's a whole other thing. Keep it simple, though. And then they need to find out where you were born. So, for example, it's 9:30 here in New York City, but in California, it's 6:30. You see, so having that place, and therefore, once the astrologer has all these 5 pieces of information, they can determine accurately where the charts were aligned at the time of your birth, and then are able to do a progressed chart. The numerology part comes from the fact that I have that it deals with the numerical side of the nature. So, for example, the first sign in the zodiac, I don't care where you go across this planet, is always Aries. In other words, if you do a chart, and if you look up the signs, well, in China, there's Chinese astrology, but if you were to look at astrology practice any other place, in India, London, Arizona, other places, they always start with Aries. For example, this shows you the universal connection, because it's Thursday in New York. Now maybe it's Friday, maybe in Australia, or Wednesday, but it's not Thursday here. And in China, it's Monday, okay? In South America, it's Tuesday, but in the United States, it's Saturday. So despite the cultural differences, the politics, the philosophy, when it comes to the cosmic side of it, all man is in link. So therefore, I put together both astrology and numerology. So let's say you got a person that's under the sign of Aries, since we're talking about the first sign in the zodiac, and they happen to be born on the 17th of the month. Well, they, as an astrologer, would be an Aries. To me, as a numerologist, this person would be an 8, because 1 plus 7 equals 8 from the birthday. But as an astronumerologist, you now become an Aries 8. So that makes you different from most of the Aries that are born under your constellation. And that's the key.
Oh, really? Now, is there any reason, or do we know why Aries is always the first sign, or is it just because we're number one? Is that it?
You're so modest, Aries. I love it, okay? That's funny. Anyway, what they did is they have a human figure that you see when you look in astrology books. And they always start at the top, if there's a head, and they wind down to Pisces, which is the feet. Well, Aries start at the head, and if you look at Aries people, even women, they will have about them some scar or scratch or wound or something about the forehead, because Aries is ruled by Mars that governs sharp instruments, tools, machines, things like that, guns, knives, nicks, cuts, burns, bruises, injuries, accidents, confrontations, arguments. So they normally don't get sick, but these are the things they'll normally run into. And so as an Aries, for example, if you were to pull your hair back, I'm sure I would see a scar somewhere, particularly more in your case to the left side of your body more so than the right side of your body.
True, because I've broken my entire left side from my wrist down to my big toe.
Yeah, but you got to understand, have we ever met?
Whoa, exactly.
This is exactly why I'm talking to you sight unseen. Other than our initial introduction leading up to this wonderful interview we're having, I've never seen you. I'm going on the recommendation of a very, very good friend of this year, Yonder. And other than that, and see, to his credit, he told me nothing about you. He let you do it. He's smart. Because the less I know about you, the better. So this way, you can't say, yo, Yonder, you told him, right, man? Yonder, tell me that.
But see, he never knew that either. He didn't know that about myself. Only, like, close family members knew about this, so no one really knew.
Well, then based on that, I feel honored.
Oh, yes. Yes, and I feel really honored to have this reading done.
So that is a part of it. But see, here's the thing, though. I've been on all kinds of shows. Oprah show 3 times, Geraldo Montel, Regis Philbin, tons of shows. You name all radio shows from Donnie Simpson to whatever's popping now, Michael Basin. But everybody will talk about the signs. But what I love about numerology, which is why I wrote 3 books on this subject, is because it also takes into consideration your name. Your name has drawing power. Shakespeare, the writer, says the response was, what's in a name? And the response to it is everything, literally. Your name is that unlocks your natural talents, your natural gifts, your natural skills, and your natural ability. So even if you didn't go to school, it would tell a lot about you. It would tell a lot about, let's say, what zodiac signs are drawn to you, why they are. So let's say, now there are 2 systems I teach in the book, but because I'm going to do something a little different, I'm going to use what is called the more ancient Chaldean system. And this is a system that goes from 1 to 8 rather than 1 to 9. I teach both. On my online course, I teach the 1 to 9 is much easier. But let's say we took a name hypothetically like, say, Tanya, Tania, all right? When I transpose the letters of those names into numbers, because that's the key, you now have to, in numerology, decode those letters of that name into numbers, and that tells me a lot. So when I get the name...
Okay,
yes,
go ahead. This is... okay, go ahead. I'm going to listen. I'll add comment after you finish this, but go ahead.
Yeah, but for example, Tanya is spelled several ways. Is that a name you know, Tania?
That's actually a daughter of a close friend named Tanya.
I like that. That's original. For example, it will tell me a lot. It will tell me that, first of all, one of your parents is either under the sign of Aries or Scorpio or Leo or born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month. It tells me from this name, Tanya spelled this way, Tonya, that whoever this particular individual are, they will have one thing in common, the power of mediumship, the ability to go in and out of the visible and invisible world. That sometimes there'll be a dual side to the nature, like the spiritual side warring against the spiritual side of that particular person's personality. It tells me whoever this particular individual is with this name spelled this way, which is important. Because in numerology, you got to have the exact correct spelling of the name. So if you've heard the name Catherine, well, what most people don't know, that one name alone is spelled 24 different ways, which is going to give you 24 variations. Okay? So with that, in this case, it tells me that this particular Tanya has a very good opinion of herself. This confidence, however, is misinterpreted by others who are haters or insecure as cocky, arrogant. Who does she think she is? They'll call her the B word, and I don't mean for beautiful, okay? It also would indicate from this name that whoever this person is, she doesn't take orders well, so therefore she would either be a manager, supervisor, director, head of the department, or even if she didn't have a title, everybody got enough sense to say, you see that lady over there, don't go mess with her, okay? Because they like to be the masters of their fate and the captains of their ship. They don't take orders well. They're refreshingly honest. If you don't want the truth, this person with this name is not the one to come to. And they also have another trait to them too, which is they attract much older men. Okay, although this name has the best of both worlds. It has much older and younger, especially in the teenage stage, especially between around 13, 17, and 22. Very significant period in relationships, considered with much older men, whoever this particular person would be, if they were born on, let's say, now I'm combining the name and the number together, which is Aries, April 17th, from the example I just, gave. And it would also suggest that this person with this name would not only know the zodiac signs of Aries, Scorpio, Leo, like a mom or dad or maid or child or born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th, but they, in fact, would have a unique instance that they tend to attract men in uniform.
Okay, Lloyd, and I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's not go on with this any further. Okay, these numbers you have is for me. I want to put it out there. Okay, this is for me. And when you said Scorpio, that is my father.
Huh, that's what?
My father.
Yeah, but see, I didn't know this. Don't forget, we never met.
Yes.
That's why I'm telling you that the beauty of what I do is I can read a person's sight unseen, almost as if I know them. But the number is the nature of the numbers that are revealing to help the person understand that to thine own self be true, which is another quote of Shakespeare.
Okay. All righty then.
You okay? You okay, Aries?
Oh, Aries is okay.
Aries, let me share something with you. When I first met Lloyd years ago, my wife brought me to see him, and I was just like, she'd been to see him before. I was like, whatever. And I sat down with her, and I was through. I was like, whatever. I ain't gonna believe nothing this joker say. Man, he sat down and told me my life story. He talked about my kids. He talked about my parents who were dead. He talked about my kids that he had never met. He read me so much that day. Me and Lloyd became friends that day. From that day, we became friends. I mean, he talked about the business side, the love side, the hate side, everything. And I was sitting there like, how is he inside of my brain?
Wow. Now, what about goes back to the numbers for Aries, for myself? Would it be possible to explore those other subjects, those other topics when it comes to that business, what's seen in the numbers for business, what's seen, in the personal side, family side? Would it be possible to explore that a little deeper this evening?
What about business?
Yes.
Oh, yes. There are certain business numbers which are primarily the 1, 3, and 8. People born on the 1st, the 3rd, the 8th, the 10th, the 12th, the 17th, the 19th, the 21st, 26th, 28th, and 30th of the month seem to have access or ability to make money. Like the person born on the 28th, the date I just mentioned, that's Bill Gates. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Another date I mentioned, the 17th. Well, that's J.P. Morgan. And, in fact, Rockefeller, who found the Rockefeller dynasty, was born on the 17th himself.
Okay.
So these are the money-making numbers. So when I'm looking at business, it all depends on the cycle that they're going through, because we all go through cycles, and women understand this. Now, Aries, the cycles that we men mostly understand, and Yonder will probably confirm it. We understand Super Bowl cycle. We understand March Madness cycle.
Mm-hmm.
We understand World Series cycle. That's about it. Other than that, what we talking about? And it's time to go get my car maintained.
Mm.
So, but we all go in cycles. So let's say in this person that we're using as an example that I decided to pull together both the name and the birthday, this person born on the 17th of April is now passing through an 8 personal year. How did I do that? Well, I took the month they were born, the day they were born. This is scientific. This is the only way I can come up with this. They will say that this stuff is pseudoscience. Let me tell you, somebody lied. Somebody told you wrong. In order for you to do this properly, you must use a certain procedure to be accurate with it. Therefore, that makes it scientific. And if you look up the word definition scientific, it will tell you anytime you do the same thing over again and get the same results, it's scientific.
Mhm.
So in this way, you see, then you take the year that the year you want to know about. So in this case, anyone April 17th. I took April 17th, 2012. Those three components added up to an 8. Now that's significant to me because not only is this person an 8-person year, they in fact are born on a date that adds to an 8. In this case, 1 plus 7 equals 8.
Yes.
So therefore, this only accentuates the positive for that particular person. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody want to know when they're going through an 8 cycle because what it represents: money, power, authority, achievement, recognition, births, pregnancies, marriages, separations, divorce, moving into a home, moving out of a home, property cycle, cycle from the past, cycle where you grow up and do a lot of, looking at life through a different set of eyes. So
now, how long do the cycles generally last?
The cycle lasts from year to year. You start feeling a change in October. So in and around October, when your sign reaches the lowest point in the year, according to the laws of astrology, you're going to make a decision. You're going to wake up one morning and say, Aries, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need that. Mm-hmm. And you might be looking at somebody who's been straddling the fence in your life and says, you know what? I don't think I need your butt either. And at that point, somebody's going to have to go. I'm telling you. So anybody who's shaky, they will be unearthed before October's over. Trust me, and they'll start late September into October.
Okay.
But in the meantime, this particular person, whoever they are, in our example, they can expect great things this year. And don't forget, we're only at the halfway point. There's still 6 more months to go. I can tell you with accuracy that each number and sign has a day in the week assigned to them. So once I know the sign and the number of this person being an Aries 8 as our example, they now become to me not just an Aries 8 anymore. My brain takes over with another wave of information. First, it lay out your numbers. What is the number to this person most important? It will tell me that the most important numbers will always be the 8, 9, and 6 in that order. It may not make sense yet, but it builds up to something. So the 8, the 9, and the 6. Where the 8 come from? Because of the 17th, and that is ruled by Saturn that governs Saturday, from where the name comes from. Mm-hmm. Then the next number is 9. Where does that come from? That comes from the fact that you're born under, or this person is born under the sign of Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars governs the number 9. That's where you would get the second number from. And then the 6, because 8 and 9, which are astrological things of Saturn and Mars, tend to get along with Venus to a degree. So the numbers are 8, 9, and 6. Once I establish that, now I can lay out your days. So your most powerful days out of 7 would always be Saturday 1st, Tuesday 2nd, and Friday 3rd. In calendar order, it would be Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. But in the world of this particular individual, their best day is a Saturday 1st, a Tuesday 2nd, and a Friday 3rd. However, what does that mean? Let's say you've been on a job, and they ain't been showing you no love at all. And this person says, I've been working here, I've been busting my chops, I've been doing this, that, and other, some extra work, and I need a raise, and I need to kind of at least speak on it. What day should I do it? Well, in this particular instance of our example, it should be on a Saturday or a Tuesday or a Friday. What day should I take that test? A Saturday, Tuesday, Friday. What day should I go on that interview? A Saturday, a Tuesday, or Friday. What day should I follow up on that interview if I haven't heard from them? And you feel you got it, but you haven't heard, what day should you call back? You know what I'm saying? Because when you call back, you don't want to look embarrassed or anything like that or busted, but you want to, hopefully when you call back, you get kind of okay, we haven't considered yet, the other people in the pool, something. Well, you do it or that person do it on a Saturday, Tuesday, or Friday. Let's say you got to go into the hospital for a procedure. It should be on a Saturday, Tuesday, Friday. It is just that simple once you know. Then it lays it out in a larger state, like the dates. So the dates in the months are like, in this case, the 6th, the 8th, the 9th of the month, then the 15th, the 17th, and the 18th of the month. Why I say that? Because 1 plus 5 is 6, 1 plus 7 is 8, 1 plus 8 is 9, then the 24th, the 26th, and the 27th. Those are the important dates. Because, see, I lay out everything first before I ask questions. Then finally, what are the months that you are at your best, your most powerful? In your case, or in the case of this example, it would be January, April, May, October, November. And when I say that, allowing last several days before you enter that month. So it's late December, January, late March, April, and May, late September into October and November. So if I was to ask the person, what was your mother's birthday? More than likely, they'd either be born on one of the months or one of the dates. Or what about your father's? They're likely to be born under one of the months or one of the dates or in and around it. Mm-hmm. What about the person in your life, the child in your life, your boss, your best friend? You will begin to see a common pattern. What month did you move into that house? What month did you get that job? What month did you buy that car? What year is that car?
You're so right. So right.
You'll see patterns of 8s, 9s, and 6s coming up. And that lets you know you're on target. Because everybody has numbers assigned to them, from the president to the average person in the street. The Creator leaves no one out in that sense.
Again, everyone that's listening, this is Real Talk with Aries. Our dial-in number is 347-838-9038. This evening we have Mr. Astro Numerologist himself, Lloyd Strayhorn, on the line, and he's actually going over numbers, explaining numerology to us, and actually doing a reading on this young lady's numbers. So just stay tuned and listen. If you're having a hard time listening online, this show will be uploaded, or you can dial the 347-838-9038 to listen, or go to the website, Real Talk with Aries, and in the online now, you'll see a posting that says On Air Now. You want to click that, and then click the open up in a separate window, and then you can listen to us live. But this is like really mind-rocking to me.
Aries, can I interject for a second? This is Yonder.
Yes.
Okay, he said those months that he just talked about for you, they were, your mother would have been born those. Can you?
Yes,
can you go with? Can you explain what he was saying? Can you go into? Okay, he gave months out. Where's your mother born in those months?
Okay, I want to go into details here, because when we first started out, when he said Scorpio, my father is born on 11/11.
Okay.
My mom.
But he's born in November, so that's one of the.
And my. Okay.
May.
May. Okay, and
on
then
the 28th.
Yes, and
See?
my daughter, my daughter, Aries does have a daughter. Aries is a mother. She's 10/15, so that's another 10/15, October the 15th.
Okay, but notice she's in one of the months and one of the dates. See what I'm saying? This is why when I first used to do this, I would ask a lot of questions and lay out the information. But people would say, well, after you ask me a lot of questions, of course you should know what my numbers are, my days and stuff. So what I decided to do was turn it around by laying everything out first, so I don't know you, we've never met, and then by asking you questions, you could see that ironically or interestingly enough, that the months of those people that are most important, or the days you do things, tend to come up in one of those months that I named. So if I were to ask you, what month did you buy your car? Do you have a car?
Yes, I do. That would have been in June. One in June and one in May. I guess I was giving up too much information, but one was in May and one was in June. So.
Okay, but one was in one of your months, though. See what I'm saying? And if you look at the year, it might have been a 2007, for example, a 2004, for example, 2006, for example.
Mhm. Mhm.
Only because those numbers add up to a 6, 8, and a 9.
Mhm. Mhm. This really has me going. It really has me going. Now, when you use those numbers and we talk about family, I mean, can numbers actually kind of give you a sense on family and health relationships? And we hit on the business side, but what about the other parts of your life?
Well, I think the next important is that each number rules health. And with 8, it rules headaches, it rules the knees, the teeth, and the bones. So in your case, would indicate more to the left side of the body than the right, if anything. It would indicate constipation, stoppage of the intestines, as they call it, blood poisoning, which suggests having 2 meatless meals a week. And it would also suggest on the Aries that whenever you handle anything, from an iron to scissors to a knife, that you also do it with care. This would explain paper cuts you would get. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that helps the person.
We have a caller on the line that they've been holding for a while. I want to see if they have a quick question for you, or for me, or for Yonder. And caller, area code 904, you on the line with Real Talk with Aries. Did you have a question for Mr. Strayhorn?
Yes, this is Adrienne. I was just wondering about my future and my numbers, because I have a unique birthday. My birthday is 11/11, as well as, your dad. So, yes. So I was just wondering about what my numbers will be. What are my good days to purchase cars or anything like that?
Well, Leo DiCaprio and Demi Moore also born on this day, as well as you and her dad.
Okay.
And it indicates that whoever you are, you're very visionary, fiercely independent, probably wear glasses or suggest that you should. If not, you wear shades on bright sunny days, where I jokingly say you'd be looking like Ray Charles or Michael Jackson. And it also indicates whoever you are, you're refreshingly honest, almost to a fault. And it's not a fault. It's just that if they want the truth, you're the one to come to, because you normally don't mince words. It also indicates that this particular year has been challenging since the latter part of last year, just before your birthday, through now, where you've had to bring some closure to a matter. And there was some health concerns in and around, and especially things got crazy in February, health concerns in April, some adjustments that had to be made this month of June, then some financial turnaround, especially through the second week of August, the 8th through the 14th, coming up.
Okay.
Ooh, and
now, considering I never met you, am I in the ballpark?
Yes, you are. Correct. I do wear glasses, and I went through something really crucial in February.
See?
And had to make a final decision this month in June.
Mm-hmm.
And what we would like to...
you could look for good news in August.
I hope so. I hope so.
What I would like to do is give our callers Lloyd's number to set up their own personal reading with him, where he can go into further detail. And Lloyd, you might want to, speak more about, the personal reading sessions and what you have that you can offer our callers. But his number is 212-694-0716. That's 212-694-0716.
Also, if I may, can I give them my toll-free number? They can call 1-800-581-4401. So for your listeners, again, the number they can call is 1-800-581-4401. And they can also go to my website, named after my best-selling book, Numbers in You, which is numbersinyou.com. Everything is all spelled out. Thank you.
And let me put a plug in there for Lloyd also. I have the book Numbers in You, and it's worth every dime to get a personal session, to sit down with Lloyd. Not only does he give you your reading, he actually gives you a copy of it. So, Lloyd, I still have that cassette you did for me years ago.
Yeah, but see, that shows you how long. That's why you need an update when I come back to Maryland the next time, because I now do CDs, okay?
Yeah.
Now, what does your schedule look like? When will you be back in the Maryland area?
I'll be back in the Maryland, D.C. area the weekend of July 20th, 21st, 22nd.
Okay, and where can we come to see you so we can finally meet face to face as well?
Okay, I'll give you that. But what they do is they call 1-800-581-4401. Say they'd like to schedule an appointment, that they heard me on Aries and Yonder's radio show, and I'll make that happen. I'll give them my immediate attention. I'll move them right up the line and get right back to them and schedule an appointment, and then I'll let you and Yonder know in specific what's happening with that later.
Oh, wow. I must say I really appreciate this. These numbers, I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the days, I'm looking at the months, and, the significance that it has within my life. You can best believe that I'm going to call this number to make an appointment for another consultation with you to see if we could go deeper and longer to see, if we can get to the root of some other things.
Believe me, there is a lot more. I've only scratched the surface with this. There's so many other things, your personal months, the things you're going through. That's why I was able to be very specific with Adrian about what may have happened in February or what she's going through right now in June as we wrap it up. And don't forget, I've never met this individual. I've never seen her. She doesn't know me. I don't know her. As so much as understanding the nature of the cycles that guide all of us.
Hey, Lloyd, let me throw a number. Let me put a number out to you. 7/12/1979.
Okay, first of all, I want to know, would this be a male or female?
It's a female.
Okay. They share the same day as Bill Cosby. They are old when they were young when they get older, ambitious. People take advantage of them, their name or reputation, and they have to be careful that when they haven't heard from somebody in a long time and they want some information or calling, actually they really want them to do them a favor. This particular year is the kind of year where they're in their romance and finance cycle. So a lot of things should be happening in a very positive way for them in terms of either a makeover, a change in their constitution, whether it's diet or weight or exercise, a change in their appearance, a change in their educational pursuit of wanting to put some further knowledge under their belt. They're very conscientious. They've got a good spirit. They do not look their age until they open their mouth.
So true. I'm getting texts and emails and everything. Folks will be hitting you up, Lord. Folks are hitting me on Facebook and emailing me and IMing me saying, "Oh, he is so on point."
Oh, we have another caller. I have this one caller. She's been holding for a while, too. I screened it earlier. 404-396, you're on the line with Real Talk with Aries. Our special guest is Mr. Lloyd Strayhorn. Did you have a quick question for Lloyd?
Yes, my name is Wanda, and I'm calling to find out what my numbers represent. My birthday is 3/13.
Okay, whoever you are, you like to be different. Whoever you are, there's the company's rules, and you got your own set of rules. You know what I'm saying, Wanda?
Yes.
You attract 4 types of relationships: older, younger, persons from different cultures, and every now and then a long-distance relationship. This is your year where you're trying to work on a new and improve you, and in fact, you did so just before your birthday month of March. It also suggests, too, that this particular month of June, you wrap things up, and now you're ready to head in a new direction where your 3 best friends for July coming up are me, myself, and I.
Wow.
Was that on point? I mean,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lloyd, you are nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. I know that from my own numbers. Nothing but the truth. Yonder, any last words? Any further words? Did you have anything else that you wanted to say? I'm just blown away. I'm speechless for
plug Lloyd stuff and Lloyd, put your number out there again on your website.
My website again is numbersandyou.com. My toll-free number is 1-800-581-4401. The number again is 1-800-581-4401. All they got to do is say they heard me on your show, and I'll respond to them immediately. They can also order my book, my best-selling book, Numbers and You. When they order it, it'll be shipped back to them autographed.
Okay. Now, you mentioned when you would be here in the DMV area, in the Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland areas. But will you be venturing out to, say, the Atlanta areas, the Nashville area, Chicago? I see we have people here in the chat room and actually listening live, in those areas. Will you be visiting their towns anytime soon?
Eventually over time. I don't know how soon, but over time, yes. Chicago, yes. Atlanta, yes. Other parts, yes.
Okay, very good, very good. I'm just blown away. I mean, this is like once in a million where you will find Aries, and she's speechless. I just can't wait to go further, with this consultation, to get further in depth with everything, because I'm dying to see like the relationship, when we talk about the personal side. And you had also mentioned that there is also a personal cycle. You said is it a finance cycle? In a business?
Yes, there are various cycles you go through, but it all depends on some years for people, the emphasis is more on relationships. Some other cycles is more on business. But even whether it's emotional cycle they're going through, there's still business opportunities they can take advantage of during the course of the year. That's one of the reasons why they need to come in and consult a professional like myself who can explain it to them in a way. So, for example, can you be in
multiple cycles? I mean, can during one point in time you can be in multiple? Okay.
Yeah, there are cycles that go from birthday to birthday and from year to year. And It's very interesting you ask that question, because there are various cycles. Cycles of the seasons, cycles for sports, cycles for fashion, cycles for the cherry blossoms to come out in your area. There are always all kinds of cycles. It all depends on what cycle you want to get into or what cycle governs you at that moment in time.
We have another caller
Go ahead, another caller? Okay.
Yeah, we have another caller that wanted to reach out. They've been holding for a while. Area code 240-460. You're on the line with Real Talk with Aries. Did you have a quick question or comment that you wanted to make on tonight's show?
Is that me?
Yes, it is. You're on the line.
Okay, I wanted to throw my birthday out there and see what you come up with.
Okay,
9169.
And your name, first name?
Shantae.
Is that S or C?
With the C.
CHANTEE?
1E.
1E. Well, first of all, the name Shantae tells me you don't have much patience for anyone who is slow, dull, or boring. Let's be clear. You don't like repeating yourself too many times either. When you were young, old, as you got older, younger, you may have had an interest in law, medicine, or science, or work in those related fields now. You've always been very independent, which, kind of gave your mom and dad a hard way to go. Not that you meant to, but you always like to think for yourself. And this particular year finds that you're making some adjustments, not that it's of your liking, but it's almost like you have no other choice but to make those adjustments, whether with health, with education, or things dealing with duty, responsibilities, or obligations that, that you may have been too busy to deal with, but now you do. And so the best thing is to handle all duty and responsibilities and obligations that come your way, and you'll find you'll have no problems. But you are a leader. You don't take orders well. So I know you've been either a manager, supervisor, director, or that woman in the corner that they say don't mess with her.
Okay.
Right on point?
Sort of. 95%.
95, not bad.
That's close. That's very close.
95%. That's not bad. I don't care.
That's really good. That's excellent.
Yes.
Wow.
Lloyd, now, I have a question for you, Lloyd. When we talk about, the training and everything that you went through, is this something that you've had throughout your life, this gift that you had, or was it special training and techniques that you had to learn, or was it just
the nice
natural?
thing about what I do is a person doesn't need a degree. They don't need a training. But if they have a natural bent for it, it helps them. But even if they don't, the average person can learn how to do this. And I have a site called How to Read a Person Like a Book. I have an online course teaching people how to do exactly what I'm doing. And you go to my website, numbersandmedia.com, for that one. And it will show you in 10 lessons how to do it. where you can, and that's why I call it How to Read a Person Like a Book, someone you've never met, like Shantae or Adrian or Wanda, and yet they can pretty much agree that we're on point. And that lets them know that they're in their own cycle. Once they understand it, then they have better control of what's happening. That's the thing. Because people don't know. All they know is they're doing the best they can. There are times when they're in their low point and they're struggling, they don't know why. There are times when they're high points and they need to go along and everything is just banging, you know? But if they understood, then they know how to even it all out where they get to where they want to much faster. That's all. And with respect.
Very good. Yonder, like I said earlier, I'm speechless. I mean, there's so many questions that I knew that I would have. I had this entire list of all these questions that I wanted to ask him, and I was for sure once these numbers were read out, 417, and he read the numbers, I was like, oh, he's going to be off. This is just, but I'm blown away. I'm blown away.
I'm always blown away with Lord. I mean, each time he's done me, and actually when he comes back this way, and actually I'm supposed to be up his way too in New York for the Harlem Book Festival. So each time we talk, I mean, each time he does a reading, and I need a full reading now. I mean, it always blows me away. I mean, from having 6 good months to my numbers to my days to what day I shouldn't have got my taxes done.
Again, people, everyone that's listening, I'm sorry, my tongue is all twisted and tied here. I apologize. Again, you're listening to Real Talk with Aries featuring Yonder. Tonight, our special guest is Mr. Lloyd Strayhorn. Our dial-in number is 347-838-9038. Again, that's 347-838-9038. Yonder, I'm going over these numbers. I'm looking at the days. I'm looking at the months. And, in my mind, I'm going back with everyone that has touched me in my life that played a significant part of who I am today. And I'm even looking at to see if these people were part of these months and years, months and days, and the cycles. And this is all, my meetings. I love having meetings on Tuesdays. That's one of my best days. Saturdays, I look forward to my Saturdays. So
he's so there. When I met with him, he told me I had 6 good months, and he told me what the months was: September, October,
November, and April, May, and June.
April, May, and June. And September, my youngest son was born in. October, my mother and father were born in. April, my wife and my daughter were born in. May, 2 of my sisters. June, me and my brother.
See, it almost seems as if it's a coincidence, but it shows you how there is divine order in this universe, whether we understand it or not.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a rhyme and a reason why we enter and when we exit.
And this is, I was looking at something on TV not long ago, and they were talking about mediums, people that were, mediums. And this was kind of the same thing, with them saying, with them opening up their mind and actually seeing that everyone actually had the power to do it. They just had to open up their minds, to see and allow that gift to be accepted, I guess. But this right here, you can best believe I'm going online once we get offline here to order the books and to read up more, because this is something I can see. Once you know your numbers, where you stand, and like you said, your cycles, your day-to-day. Like you said, if I know I'm having a bad day, okay, I can refer back to this and say, okay, this could possibly be why. So.
And you plan your days out and your weeks and your months and year from this. Like I said, for my months, even from vacation. I mean, even my downtime, I plan them around the days that I know that the life is going to be good. I mean, my downtime, like I said, my financial decisions, I plan them on certain days, going interviews on certain days because of knowing what your numbers are.
So on my bedside, I will have the good book, which is the Bible, and the numbers in you.
Numbers in you.
I'll be right on point then. But, Lloyd, once again, I'd like to thank you for calling into the show.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate this. I look forward to seeing you. So I will be in contact with you this week. We'll schedule a time for you to see me face-to-face. We'll record it, bring it to a CD. Yonder needs to get his butt up in there, too.
I am, Lloyd. I will be getting up there, Lloyd.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm saying that over the airways. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, I'm there, Lloyd. I am there.
Okay, good. So thank you so much, and anytime you'd like to have me back, I'd be honored to be a guest again.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate it.
And it will be soon. We might do one Thursday a month as Lloyd Strayhorn does Thursday.
One Thursday a month online.
One Thursday a month might be Lloyd Strayhorn Thursday.
But we may have to do face
Numbers
to face.
and You with Lloyd Strayhorn on one Thursday a month.
We may have to work out some other things where we may have to have an event and have Lloyd there in person.
Yes, Lloyd. Actually, when Lloyd has you in person, Lloyd really gets there. He has the longest line. He did an event for me a couple of years ago. He had the longest line out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, thank you so much. Again, I'm very honored to be a guest on your show for the first time, and let's not be strangers, okay?
Okay, yes. Thank you, Lloyd. We much appreciate it.
Thank you, and you'll have a blessed day. And Aries, I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night. All right.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night. Yonder, I don't know what to say. I'm blown away. Blown away.
People have to go on his website, get his book, Numbers and You, and he gave out his phone numbers and everything. And actually what you can do is, after this broadcast goes off, it'll be online until we decide to take it off. So it'll be online. You can get all his phone number, all his contact information. This guy is the truth. I mean, when I first met Lloyd, like I said, I was skeptical like most black people are. I was like, he don't know nothing about that. I sat down with him. He amazed me. I mean, you were sitting there like, how does he know? It was like he was inside your mind. I mean, before, he knew stuff about you that you didn't know about yourself.
We have a caller online. Area code 904. You're on the line with Real Talk with Aries featuring Yonder. Is there a comment you want to make from tonight about tonight's show? Hello?
Hello?
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me put you back online. Yes.
Hi. I didn't know it was me. I was still on the line. No, he was really on point about what was going on in my life, especially what was going on since the end of last year to the beginning of this year in 2012 has been a struggle for me. So I'm definitely going to go and buy a couple of his books and make an appointment.
And Lloyd's usually everywhere. Like I said, he's going to be in the DMV that week, but Lloyd actually lives in New York, so he's always doing New York events. I know he's doing a Harlem Book Festival also.
Okay.
All right. Easy to reach you. And when I tell you so approachable, I mean, this idea came. Yonder spoke to me about Mr. Strayhorn in the past. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm listening to Michael Bazin, his show last month. I'm like, hey, he's on here. And that wasn't the first time that I heard him on the show. So I was like, let me reach out and see if Mr. Strayhorn would come on Real Talk with Aries, I'm putting it out there like I'm thinking, the show is big time. But when he said, sure, I was like, oh, hell. I said, Yonder, I am really feeling big time now. I said, he actually agreed. And that's when Yonder said he's real personable, real down to earth, go ahead and work with. And it just worked out. I mean, I had no idea. And then for him to read my numbers, and then off the bat, he was trying to play it on the down low like those weren't my numbers, but those were my numbers. And to call my mother, my father, so.
It scares you. He's so deep, like I said. And then, like I said, you really didn't get anything until you sit down with him. When you sit down with him, he's going to tell you some stuff that you're going to be sitting there like, how does he know this? I mean, it's so deep and so intense. I mean.
And let me tell you what blew me away the first 5 minutes of the show is when he was saying this person that we're talking about, and he spelled the name Tania. Okay. That blew me away because, Tanya is pronounced like that, and some people, they do spell Tanya like that, but I was like, okay, that's my daughter. So that really got to me. But, yes, he most definitely will be getting a follow-up phone call from me.
And like you said, sight unseen, you never met this man. You haven't had a conversation with this man.
Never met him.
I mean, really, it's some days I've talked to him, I mean, really, and you'll be sitting there like, this is straight crazy. I mean, really, I live my life around my numbers now. I mean, I know my good days, my bad days. I know when I should go on vacation. I know when I should chill out. Like I said, I know the good months, the bad months, and everything because of this. I mean, because of this, man. I mean, really, I try to get a reading from him at least once a year, a full reading, and I try to, if something's going on in my life, I would just hit him on email and call him and say, okay, I'm going to PayPal you, and here we go. I need some information right now.
And if you go to his website, and if you go to the Numbers in You website, there's actually, it's not really a mini reading, but a forecast of what he forecasts for your sign for the year for 2012, and from my understanding, he updates this every year. But before making the phone call to him, I had reviewed, Aries for 2012, and much of what was there was actually on point as well. It was kind of a summary of what he gave me this evening. But if you're interested, go to www.numbersinu, and you can kind of get a glimpse of you're reading your numbers and so forth, what your numbers are. Like he's telling me, like 8 is my number. I'm in this personal cycle right now. But also there's a list of his books that are out there, and you can actually schedule an appointment for a consultation, and he'll give you a call.
And look, Aries, knowing you personally, we both know each other. We've been knowing each other for years now. When he started saying certain things to you, I was just like, if he's not hitting them on the head, some of the things you're going through right now.
You had no idea. You had no idea that I've broken my entire left side.
I just knew about the leg breaker, but I knew about that piece.
But that was actually the second time.
I didn't know about it until he said that, and you was like, you done broke the whole half of your body.
The entire left, from my ankle down to my big toe to my knee. That was twice. But, to say that, I'm like, okay. And then he said the indentations and marks on your left side, most of my dimples are on the left side of my face. That's, y'all that are listening, this is Real Talk with Aries. I'm not in my natural state right now because this just amazes me. I was never one to believe in,
numerology.
I'm not going to say numerology. I'm going to say like the psychic stuff, because that's what I kind of compared it to when reading and first looking. I was like, oh, we're going to have Cleo call in. I was kind of upset with Cleo, too, when I found out this woman not even from Jamaica. So I was like, okay, this is going to be another situation like the Miss Cleo, situation. And it wasn't. I mean, it's totally different. I have a total different outlook, and I actually respect the work now. Whereas before it wasn't so much of respect, but, when he hit on these certain points, I'm like, okay. But then there's also a side where, we say that we have to look at numbers and, kind of focus on how they can be part of our lives. But there are some people out there that will let it go too far. We can't let it yonder, and you can either agree or disagree, but we can't let this take over our lives, because some people will take this and run with it as far as, he said my bad days are Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to stay in the house and become a hermit for those 2 days because those are my bad days. You can't do that either.
But he'll fight you on that. I mean, really, he'll say don't do it. He say there's certain days you just need to chill on certain things, but you still have to go through Monday and Friday. And then if you get down talking to him, really, he'll tell you the spiritual man that he is also. So, I mean, really, it's just, like I said, it's just cautionary. It's like I said, it's up to you what you decide to do. Really, have working with him for the numerous years I've worked with him, talked to him for the numerous years I've talked to him. Really, he has some solid points that just hit home, and you be like, man, this is so deep. This is me. And the thing I really like about talking to Lloyd is that he tells you stuff about yourself that you be like, man, I always wonder why this was happening with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so deep there.
We've just recently started hearing his name a lot, in the media and stuff the last couple of years. When were you first introduced to Mr. Strayhorn and his gift? And
probably, I've heard him for years because he used to be on Donnie Simpson when Donnie was on KYS. That's how far he goes back. When Donnie was on KYS, then when Donnie Simpson went to PGC.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
And he used to be on HUR with not Steve Harvey, with Tom Joyner and all the guys on HUR one time when Tom Joyner was on our station here. And I would listen to him, like I said. Then one day my wife went to see him. She went 1 year and did tell me out and came home telling me all this nonsense. I was like, whatever. So the following year, I said, you know what? Let me go see this Joker too. Man, I wish I had went the year before with her because he was so on point. I mean, he started talking about my kids that hitting at me. He started talking about my dead parents, and he was so on point. It was just like you were sitting there like, how did that? And then of course it was some stuff you was like, oh, that's just generic. You should know that. But as he started talking about stuff that nobody know about, he started giving me, like you said, no one knew about. Like you said, when you said no one knew about your about you breaking half your body for yourself, but that side of the body. Like I said, he started talking about stuff like that. You were sitting there like, don't nobody know about this. I mean, it was just so crazy that I was just like I said. And that day we had a good time because the good thing about Tony Lloyd, he's never really serious. I mean, he's serious, of course, about what he does, but he's a jokester too. So he's sitting there laughing and joking with you the whole time. So we became friends that day. He just wasn't a numerologist. He became my friend that day. So it was really, really good.
All right. Well, it is about time for us to wrap this show up for this evening. Next week, do you want to tell them what next week is? It's going to be our first since we've been back on the radio, so I'm going to let you go ahead and
yes. Next week, it's going to be off the hook. Next week, we're doing Taboo Thursdays. What we're going to do, we're going to get erotic. We're going to open up.
So you guys know what that means. Yonda will be talking about sex.
Yes, I'm going to have my partner calling from L.A., and it's just going to be on. We're going to have a good time with folks. We're going to be open about everything, and it's just going to be a good time. I mean, just adults being adults, having some adult conversation, and it should be really good. It's not just going to be good. It's going to be hot. And when I say not just going to be hot, it's going to be sex. When I say sex, it's just going to be wet. When I say wet, it's just going to be in it. I mean, it's going to be so.
It's not going to be wet. It's going to be wet.
I mean, I'm talking about dripping wet. I'm talking about fire hydrant wet.
That just sounds nasty. I don't care what you think.
Exactly, and that's and it's okay for adults to get that way. I mean, it's just gonna be. I mean, when you finish this show, you're gonna have to go get somebody some.
Oh wow.
I mean, so I'm gonna call it.
Make sure you let
we're gonna call it No Draws Thursday.
No Draws Thursday.
No draws.
No Draws Thursday.
Don't even put it on.
June 22nd was No Draws. What was it? No Panties Day? June the 22nd?
Yeah. It's going to be no Panties Day.
Oh, gosh. Okay, guys, I really appreciate everyone who listened in. I appreciate all the callers that dialed in tonight. Those of you that had a hard time online listening, because I know there's some issues going on with the system and with the buffering system with Blog Talk, but don't worry. This show will be uploaded online within the next hour. So you can replay, you can listen, you can share, you can send to your friends, families, post it on Facebook, do whatever it is you want to do to get this out. We want to support. We had talked about supporting businesses and, our families and so forth within the radio community. We want to show Lloyd, our support. We know he's getting, national support and things like that, but call him up, get your reading, see what lies, not so much in your future, but to see why certain things are happening in your life, what your numbers mean to you, how you can use that to improve maybe your day-to-day activities, maybe, your job. Your personal life, your relationships, finances, business, and so forth. So reach out to him. Again, his website is Numbers and You. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. So friend Yonder, he's listed under Yonder Harrison, or Aries the host. We're both on Facebook. Mr. Strayhorn, he's a friend of both of ours. If you look at my postings from today and yesterday, because we were flooding the site trying to get the information out about the radio show tonight, you can actually click to go to his link and his page from there. And we would really appreciate it. Like I said, when he's back in the DMV, you can best believe I'm going to be first in line at the table trying to get hours reading.
We might even do a live show with him in the DMV area. I mean, when he comes this way, might even do the show live from live directly with him from the location that he'll be at.
Yes. So, any last words this evening, Yonda?
Just go to my website, pick up my fourth book. Actually, pick up all four of them, actually. WhatIDoIsTaboo.com. Again, WhatIDoIsTaboo.com. Go on Amazon, give me a plug. Go to Aries' website. Aries has numerous other businesses that she's involved in, from travel agents to toys.
Aries trying to get it in. Aries is trying to, because it is a blessing in a way for everybody. Aries is just trying to find her mark and make her mark on the world, and one day you guys are going to say, I knew that girl from way back when.
And she's going to still be the same person she is. So
exactly.
I mean, so please go up on our website, support us all, and definitely go on Mr. Strayhorn's website, support him. We want to have him on the show numerous times. We want to have him like once a month. We'll do 15, 20, 30-minute segment and just have him on, because he was really good and he does real good. And he's a real good person. I mean, really, there's someone that you really would want to know. I mean, because one of the good things about working with Lloyd, I mean, when he does these numbers, you just you through. And he's so personable to meet. I mean, really, so. That's about it for me.
That's about it. And you mentioned taboo Thursdays. What did you call it? No panties Thursdays?
Yeah, no, fake. Draws off. Draws on your head.
Draws on your head Thursday, or no draws Thursday, whatever. After that show, you're going to have to hit up one of my websites, which is www.naughtygirls.net. I'm guaranteeing you, either before, during, or after the show, you may find something on that site that, you might probably want to use. So,
and that's what we're going to. It's just going to be, like I said, so invite your mate, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your twin. I don't care who you have come with you.
Did
but
you say bring twins?
Bring your twins. I don't care. But it's going to be on for next Thursday, like I said, butt naked. Like I said, we're going there.
Lord, I'm so glad you don't have Skype.
And we might even Skype it one of these days.
One of these days. I've been. One of these days. I want to thank you all for tuning in to us tonight. I want to wish you a good night, a blessed week. We'll be talking to you next Thursday. And again, this show will be uploaded to www.ariesthehost.com. And there you can also find a list of our past and previous shows. For topic suggestions, feel free to email me at ariesthehost@gmail.com. And also wanted to let you all know that if you want to ever speak to Aries, or you have a question to ask while we're on the air and you can't get through sending us an email or sending Yonder a text or so forth, give me a call at 202-643-8255. That's a direct line to me. You can contact me. It does not have anything to do with Blog Talk, but you can send me a text. You can call me if you just want to chat, if you have a topic for a show or recommendations, or just to give general feedback. Feel free to dial that number, and we can chat. All righty then. No music taking us out this week, so I'm just going to say goodbye and have a blessed week. Hope to hear and see you guys soon. Bye-bye.